You wait until the door is closed, until the car is parked and the engine is off, until the shower is running loud enough to cover the sound. And only then, when you are completely sure no one can see, do you let yourself cry. To everyone in your life, you look composed, steady, fine. They have no idea that some of your hardest moments happen alone in the dark with the water running. If you are someone who only cries in private, I want to tell you what that habit actually reveals. Because it is not what people assume. It is not that you are cold or closed off or bad at feeling. It is usually the opposite. You feel deeply. You have just decided somewhere along the way that your feelings are a burden best carried where no one has to see them. Here's the myth I want to break first. People think crying alone is a sign of strength, of being self-sufficient, of handling your business. And sometimes it is. But often private crying is not strength. It is a very old survival rule that says my tears are not welcome here, so I will hide them. That rule feels like control. Underneath it is loneliness wearing the costume of independence. So let me ask you something before we go deeper. When you cry alone, is it because you truly want to be alone in that moment, or because at some point you learned that no one would show up if you didn't? To understand this pattern, you have to look at how you learned to handle emotion. Most people who cry only in private were at some point the strong one. Maybe you were the kid who took care of everyone else. Maybe your feelings got dismissed, or you saw that expressing them made things worse. Maybe you were praised for being mature, for not making a fuss, for being so easy. And a child who gets rewarded for hiding pain grows into an adult who hides it automatically without even deciding to. Think about what that praise actually taught you. Every time someone said you're so strong or I never have to worry about you, they were unknowingly handing you a job. The job of being fine. And you took it seriously, you became so good at being okay for other people that you forgot you were allowed to not be okay in front of them. There's a real cost to this, and it's worth naming. When you only ever cry alone, you never get to feel the one thing that actually heals emotional pain, which is being comforted. Tears shed in private release the pressure, yes. But they don't give you the experience of someone sitting beside you saying, I've got you, you don't have to hold this by yourself. That missing piece is why some people can cry for years and still feel just as alone with their pain. The releasing happened, the connection never did. Let's name the signs so you can see how deep this runs. The first sign. You apologize for crying. Even alone, even when it's completely justified, some part of you feels like you're doing something wrong, something inconvenient, something you should hurry up and finish. The second sign. You wait for privacy like it's a scheduled appointment. You feel the wave building during the day, and you push it down telling yourself, not now, later when I'm home. You've learned to postpone your own emotions until they're convenient for everyone else. The third sign. When someone catches you crying, your first instinct isn't relief. It's panic. You wipe your face fast, you say you're fine, you turn it into a joke. Being seen in that state feels more exposing than the pain itself. The fourth sign, and this is the quiet one. You are the person everyone comes to. You hold space for everyone else's tears with endless patience. But the thought of doing the same thing in reverse of letting someone hold space for yours feels almost impossible. You can give the comfort, you just can't receive it. If those signs feel like they were written about you, stay with me because this is a pattern you can gently soften, and it starts smaller than you'd expect. The first step is not to suddenly cry in front of a crowd. That would be too much too fast, and your system would reject it. The first step is just to question the belief underneath it all, the belief that your tears are a burden. They aren't. Real connection isn't built only on the good days. It's built in the moments when someone sees you struggling and stays. By always hiding your pain, you're accidentally robbing the people who love you of the chance to actually love you. The second step is to find one safe person and take one small risk. You don't have to sob in their arms. You can start with words. You can say, I've had a really hard day and I just needed to tell someone. That single sentence cracks the door open. It lets one person into the room you usually keep locked. And most of the time, what you'll find on the other side of that risk isn't judgment. It's relief on both sides. The third step is to change how you talk to yourself in those private moments. Instead of, ugh, I'm crying again, get it together. Try something gentler. Try this is allowed. This makes sense. I'm not too much. The way you treat yourself while you cry teaches your nervous system whether emotion is safe or shameful. You can slowly teach it that feeling is not a failure. And here's the reframe I most want you to hold on to. Crying in private isn't a flaw you need to fix overnight. It's a shelter you built when you had no other option when showing your feelings didn't feel safe. That shelter kept something tender in you alive. But you're not that unprotected child anymore. You get to decide now who is safe enough to let in. And letting the right person in isn't weakness. It's the bravest, most human thing you can do. Because the goal